Hello, Americans. I'm back. And guess what? We're still alive today, too. Sometimes I wonder if it's worth living the way we have to live. But anyway, we have a purpose and a mission. And all of us Americans are working together. I just know it, right? Okay. I'm here today to thank every one of you on Facebook and Twitter for all your emotional support and your donations in keeping Larry and I alive. And Boo Boo too. Yeah, you kept all three of us alive. And we're very, very grateful. Because we have a lot to do. We don't want to be dead. Nope. Even in this horrible world of corruption, we don't want to be dead. We have plans, as all of you do. But first, we've got to get first things done, which is do something about all this corruption. So, I'm sure all of you have heard that I do have a book that's on the market. You can pick it up at Amazon or on my blog, which is Deborah Bruner at blogspot.com. And that's DeborahBruner.blogspot.com. It's called God's on Our Side, Sweetie, but the Devil Has Control. Can you believe it? The devil has control. Yeah, he sure does. But God's still on our side. So we have a lot to do, like I said. And I do apologize. I wish so much that we could do something for all of you who have been so kind and generous towards us and helping us stay alive. But right now, about all I can do is share. I can share secrets that can help you save your lives. So, let me see. What secret do I have today? Some of you may be finding out that your attorney is corrupt. You might be finding out that he is not submitting to the court all the laws that have been broken. Then you might find out that he's saying to you, oh, in time, kiddo. We can't do it all one time. We can do amended complaints. Yeah, we can amend complaints forever and we just keep on going. But right now, this is what we can do. You know, we just can't do it all. The truth is, that is your attorney's way of helping the judge not order a court date for your case. Yeah, and that protects the bank. And some of us are savvy to all the particular laws and the fact that our attorney lies. Yeah, they lie, just like rugs. And unless you're an attorney yourself, or you have what Larry and I had, it's called Steamboat Springs, Colorado library law degree, you wouldn't know if your attorney's lying to you or not. So I highly recommend that you get your law degree from your local library or law library, and pay attention to what your attorney is telling you and challenge him or her. Not that it'll do any good. For me, personally, when I challenged my corrupt attorney, he withdrew from my case. Oh, I thought, oh, good, the state bar is going to take care of this ass. No. That's why these attorneys are so arrogant. No, the state bars are actually mafia groups. They're mafia, and what they do, actually, I have more respect for mafia because they do care about the people they love. And they care about the people that follow the rules. But you see, the state bars don't. The state bars are organizations where they hold criminals And the only people that get disbarred are the attorneys who try to be honest. That is why so many attorneys are dishonest. It's not that they're all dishonest. It's that the honest ones have figured out that they can't be honest or they'll lose their license. I'll give you an example. Remember Richard Fine, the attorney in California that went up in court to expose all the judges that were basically taking bribes? Guess where he ended up? He lost his license, and he ended up in jail for, I'm not sure how long, I think it was like 18 months. Yep. And he still doesn't have a license. I doubt if he'll ever get it back. That's what happens to honest attorneys in this country. So, when I see people on Twitter or Facebook talk about, oh, my attorney said, red flags go up for me. Because I know there aren't any honest attorneys. They can't be. They can't afford to be. They will lose their license and end up with no license and no income, working at the gas station. Well, who wants to do that if they don't have to? People in general like to work places where they make a good income so they can have all the nice things of life. So, attorneys don't like working at the gas station. Mm-mm. They don't like to do anything that has anything to do with a low income. So, they're also really privy to what actually goes on in the law, like, for instance, in the courtrooms and the judges and how the financial institutions have to be protected. So, they know when they take you on as a client already what they can and can't do. And if you happen to have lots of money, they think to themselves, well, I won't win this case, and I'll have to protect the bank, and I'll have to do what the judge says. But my client's got some money. Not a lot, but they have some. And, I'll lose their case. I'll even withdraw from their case when I think the time is right. But I'll take all the money they have. And that'll be better than nothing. So if they have $1 million in assets and property and so on, I'll take that through grand larceny, more federal crime. In fact, I can break any law that I want and take it all from them and then withdraw from the case and go on to another case. So that is what I have observed from going through this for good almost 16 years now. There isn't a lawyer or an attorney, if you want to call them that is able to help anybody, because the financial institutions rule. And the government is sanctioning the financial institutions to seize all Americans' assets. Now, how they do it is different for everybody. It depends. It depends on what you have, depends on what support you have. For instance, if you happen to be a divorced woman that has both her parents deceased, that's a good one to go after. But there's other people. I mean, there's all kinds of people that, have something in their life that weakens them. And those are the people the financial institutions go out against first. They'll get us all in the end. But hey, why not take the easy ones out first? They've got the middle class pretty much gone through, I don't know, they didn't go right in and embezzle, I guess, but they, fees at the bank and, small little amounts kind of floating out for one reason or another. I don't know how they do it, but, they're stealing from all of us. The more, I admit, the more money one has, the easier actually to steal, because the money manager and the bank and the attorneys can lie about what's happening to certain funds, and they can lie about what's happened in the stock market, and they can even show you bank statements and stocks statements showing what happened to certain funds when in actuality they were embezzled. So they're doing a lot of that, and the courts are doing a lot of let's not have a court date, let's settle this case. And you go settle, and if you're over a barrel, you know, you've heard that story before, you're over a barrel, you've almost, you know, have no funds whatsoever, your house is at risk, your employment is at risk, and you're sitting in a boardroom having to settle with a bank that's going to give you $125,000 for the $3 million house they basically stole from you, by the way, that had no loan against it. You're going to take the $150,000 because otherwise you're in the street. So we used to hear about that when we were little. I know I'd heard stories like that, but I didn't know the trail that the story ended up like that. And the other story we used to hear when we were children is, oh, the really rich person who ended up in a motel penniless. I used to think to myself, oh my God, didn't they pay attention to what they were spending? No, it was stolen from them almost every time, I bet, because the media is not telling these stories. It's simple. Simple, simple, simple. If you don't hear about these stories, you don't hear what the truth is. And so the media is talking about the robo-signing. They're talking about the lost documentation with the loans and so on. But they don't talk about the embezzlements, the laundering, the extortion. They're not talking about the different tricks the banks are playing on their customers. They're not talking about banks that are foreclosing on homes that are owned by trusts that have no loans against them. They're not talking about the bank statements that that the banks are adjusting and then sending them out to the consumer, their customer. You know, slight little changes here and there. You would never. Don't tell me that you'd get it. You know, and if you did, and you went to the bank and explained to somebody what was going on, it would take you years to get anything done, and that's the way they do it. And most people aren't going to go file a suit over, you know, $1,000 or something if that's what they notice. They're not going to file a suit over something that they're not sure what happened to. If they haven't had these kind of crimes happen to them, they're going to believe their money manager and banker and lawyer. You have to be slapped in the face with federal crime before you're going to get it. And then you're going to fight like hell, most of us. But you never get anywhere. Just on social media and, you know, the work that we all do on social media, that's the only way it's getting out. Because the media is not telling you anything. They're not telling you about the millions of people that are in the streets living with no cell phone and no car and no computer, starving to death. They don't have, you know, churches or agencies helping them in any way. I don't know if you've heard that people are getting help. You've been informed incorrectly. Nobody's getting help because the government wants us all dead in the street. That's the goal. And you'd have to go through what we went through to understand what I'm talking about. So, anyway, that's my tip for the day. I hope all of you are digging your hole and buying your safe and getting your smoke bomb and investigating alarms, because that's where your money should be going. And I'll be back. God bless.